seen it before, and it like you say, it's happened forever, but it's still the coolest.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
It's special.
It is for sure. So we're fishing's good. We're excited.
And it's so cool. I mean, you have taken over an iconic boat. I mean, that it's got a lineage that is strong, dude. Like it's
cool to get the text messages. I have a lot of respect for, the guys who have done it before me.
Yeah.
I
mean, Steve
P for sure.
It starts there, and he had it for,
Joel Ralston was on the Grande a month ago or something, hanging out with James, and I get a text message, that boat's never looked so good.
Oh,
and here's someone
so
who
cool.
ran the boat forever.
Right. Out of Seaforth.
Out of Seaforth. David Ikeda, Sueño, he in a Sueño way, you're gonna like how that boat fishes, and he's right. It is
like a Sensei Yoda.
Totally.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
100%.
Right.
And it's
and Booger too.
And Booger, yeah.
Booger was a part of that boat for I don't know how long, but at least
it's where I started.
Yeah. Isn't that incredible?
It's crazy.
Full circle, dude.
Full circle. 14 years old. So excited. The captain gave me his phone number on a piece of paper to come out and scrub the boat. And
is that how it all started?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I was fish crazy, and my dad had to work, and so he dropped me off at 5:30 in the morning one morning, and I was just in awe of these guys. The deckhands, I just thought it was so cool. And so we had caught a few yellowtail. I had caught one. It was, I was so happy. And one of the guys came up to me and he goes, you can scrub. It's like, are you kidding me? So I scrubbed, and it was just like I was in it. I was soaking wet. Everyone knows the Mission Belle, we take spray.
But you were one of the boys.
But I was one of the guys. And when we got to the dock, Ryan came down and it was a notepad.
And you're talking Brian Kiyohara?
No,
Booger. Okay.
Ryan, yeah. And on one side it said Ryan with his phone number, and on the other side it said 4 tomatoes, 3 heads of lettuce. It was the galley supply list.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so I remember getting home, and the next day I opened it up and grabbed the landline and called him, and he said, just show up with your boots. And that's
how it all started.
That's how it all started.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then so you were on the Belle back then for how long?
So that was the first year he had owned it.
Yeah.
And I was there for a summer. We grew up in Car Mountain Ranch. It was hard. My dad did construction. So to leave even earlier to get me to Seaforth, him go to the job site, come back, pick me up at 5:36, 7 o'clock.
Dude, it reminds me of Rock Hard Rick.
Yeah.
With his dad. Same thing.
It was hard. And so then from there, I went to the Pacific Queen, because then I could just be gone for 10 days.
And that's when Brian and Sam had it.
No, Bill Kavanaugh. They had just sold it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was with Bill Kavanaugh till I was 18. So that was 3 summers. And in that time, Brian came back and ran Pacific Queen. And he said, the day you turn 18, call me. And so when I turned 18, I called him, and that was it. American Angler, 7 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, lucky.
And I mean, your demeanor and who you are, you carry yourself very well. I don't know how to say that properly, but I think in the fishing world, I think, dude, you have Brian You've got the American Angler stamped on your forehead. I mean, that's the way you carry yourself and your business. And
there's so many different ways to go in the fishing world. And I'm so thankful for the era I kind of came up with, the guys, Taro and Ray and Andrew and Bobby, these guys that I worked with, and the mentors. When I went back and ran the American Angler and calling Brian for an anchor job. Hey, what do you think about this? Or running the Vagabond, being able, being at breakers and being able to call Mike Lackey, who's the master there, and get the, exact to learning how to fish the Coronado Islands, being able to call Booger. I've always, Sam Patella, I've always had the best advice I could ever ask for.
It's incredible, man.
And to this day, I still call, what do you think about this? Is this a bad move? And they'll tell me, do not do that, and, oh, okay. All right. What do you think about this? And, oh, that's a better option. And
And to be able to carry all that intel and all that goodness over to the Mission Belle, super stoked that you've taken over that operation. And Steve P, I mean, built a great foundation and had it going good, but to have you as a part of that is incredible. And anglers should be stoked. I mean, they should, do you leave at 5:30 in the morning? And
yep, 5:30, and you know, when we get in, we get in.
And that's just the way it goes. That's the way it is today.
That's what, yeah. And, you know, and for people, I understand it's expensive. There's no denying a full day trip is, you know, and now seeing the other side of ownership, you know, it's not that we're putting all this money in the account. It's what it takes to operate.
Right.
You know, it's SAC and insurance and all these different things. And so for me, I feel guilty to the point where we need to give them the most. If it's burning more fuel to go farther or to stay later, they deserve it, because you know, they keep our business rolling.
That's awesome. I mean, that's the right way to say it. And I mean, you spend almost every day of your life
Spend a lot of
on
time
the ocean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's on the Belle, but you're also a commercial fisherman.
Yeah. It's
So I mean, you know the ocean, and you know the value for what an angler paying a ticket price should.
and an experience. You know, I don't necessarily go on a lot of fishing trips for vacation, but you know, my family and I, we go on a big trip every year, and you know what you want when you go on vacation. You know, you want people to be nice to you and friendly and learn your name. And
It sounds simple,
it does,
but
and it's easy
not
to get
always.
lost. It's easy to get lost, you know.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of crew members pushing you over, trying to cast the lure over you, you know, rather than rigging up people from Minnesota.
Right, exactly. That does happen. So it's good you have all that underneath you. So, I mean, that's charters too. I mean, is that
You know, I didn't think we didn't do a lot of charters when I was on the San Diego. It was a lot of open party, and Steve had a pretty good charter business. And now we're like entering our charter season. You know, I think there's 6 or 7 open party days in August.
when you say charter season? I mean, that's like the glory days when if somebody's going to book a year out,
Yeah.
July, August, like September. I mean, those are kind of,
Yeah,
if you're going to throw a dart, that's like the month where you would do it.
and so yesterday we had a charter. It was a group of business owners that kind of do things together to kind of help spread but it was 25 people that don't fish that were just going for an outing. And we had the best day. Caught a bunch of yellowtail. We caught some ground fish, whitefish, calico bass. And it's really a cool boat to charter. 15 guys, 20 guys, you know, we take up to 30, but
So like an open party booking out of the landing, there would be up
30.
to 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the groups that, you know, take the boat for the whole day, and it's really cool. I'm a proponent of charters. We get to do what's best for the group. You know, maybe they don't want to catch yellowtail or they just want bites. And so we just go off and do what we do and catch fish and rockfish and have a good.
That's what a charter is all about, right? I mean, just the fellowship and having a good time, whether it's a construction crew, it could be a law office of some kind. You know,
We had
just
a father-son group the other day. San Diego Homebrew was a group. You know,
How cool is that?
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah,
Right?
they brought some device to have a keg on the back deck because it was beer they made, and I recommend it. Company charters, construction, whatever. It's fun.
Right. No, that's definitely good times for sure. It's we're stoked to have you in studio for the next 2 hours, dude. I mean, just to share time, and I'm sure the listeners should be stoked as well. We're giving away a full day trip on the Mission Belle.
Perfect.
to come fishing.
Oh,
with
that's awesome. Yeah,
Right?
well, thanks for that. What a generous thing to get to do. And looks like we had a little hitch in our giddy up on the app, but everything seems to be all clear and
Good.
up and going and running out. You know, my IT skills are pretty high end. I come from the turn it off and turn it back on and hope it fixes itself routine.
Well, if you need anybody to jump in,
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
And it didn't the first time, so I dug really deep into my bag of tricks, and I turned it on and off a second time, and we seem to be all good now. So my IT prowess is really getting high. It's really another notch in the book. So thanks for hanging with us there, boys.
Anybody that knows me, I might be a step above you, right? Like not. All right.
Well, what an awesome opportunity, though, to go get fishing with Captain Cameron. And just like you say, the way that things have shaped up, and it just sounds like the islands are in a really healthy state. And outside of you having, a bunch of your closest buddies fishing with you, it sounds like the volume of fish is certainly there and the grade of fish is there. And boy, what a great setup to move forward for what will be a great sea. I mean, there's bluefin close when you do go offshore, and the islands are fantastic when you get to put the anchor down somewhere. And it just seems like we're in such a good place right now.
It's happened.
Yeah, it really is.
Love it.
Like we said, Rick, we've got the next 2 hours to enjoy the time, and just, you want to give us a call? We're full 2 hours this morning on 97.3 The Fan. So we've got the man Hanby waiting for your call at 833-288-0973, or you can send us a text via the app. You got a question or a comment for Captain Cameron. Yeah, right.
Lots of good texts already coming through this morning too. It's going to be a fun one. It's a busy morning, but we got a couple hours to be taking your calls and texts, so we're going to have a lot of fun doing it.
And as mentioned, we're giving away a full day trip on the Mission Belle. So if you want to join us again, 833-288-0973. We're going to be right back. More from Captain Cameron when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, 97.3 The Fan, YouTube and Facebook Live.
One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at fine tackle dealers.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at royalstarsportfishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Power your boat with Norsk Lithium, the ultimate choice for marine adventures. Our batteries deliver unmatched starting, trolling, and electronics power, packed with cutting-edge technology like Deep Sleep to eliminate phantom draw. Built with rugged BCI-compliant cases, they're designed to handle the toughest conditions on the water. Stay in control with the Norsk Guardian app. Monitor performance, track battery health, and unlock advanced features right from your phone. Charge with confidence using Evotech onboard and DC-to-DC chargers for fast, efficient, and hassle-free power management. Designed for maximum compatibility, these chargers keep your entire system running at peak performance, so you're always ready for the next trip. With a 10+ 2-year non-prorated warranty, you can trust your batteries to perform for years to come. Our industry-leading warranty ensures you get the most out of your investment. With dedicated customer support if you ever need it. Upgrade your marine power today. Set up your custom system at norsklithium.com or visit Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood. Norsk Lithium. No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is on at your San Diego County Ford dealers. It's a great time to take a test drive to see what Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs has to offer. You'll discover California's best-selling truck brand, Ford F-Series, equipped for anything your demanding job needs or the family vacation you're taking. Check out the Bronco family featuring the iconic Ford Bronco or the versatile Ford Bronco Sport. Both have muscle, tech, and durability needed to go anywhere. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, visit your local dealership to find the perfect Ford for you during the Ford Summer Sales Event. The Ford Summer Sales Event is on at your San Diego County Ford dealers. It's a great time to take a test drive to see what Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs has to offer. Visit your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And as mentioned, we're giving away a full-day trip on the Mission Belle with Captain Cameron. And you want to join us, 833-288. Lines are full. But
yeah, good luck getting through today, boy.
0973. Or send us a text via the app. There's a ton where I was just looking at them all. It's loaded up. But yeah, send us a text via the app, and we're having a fun morning, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to give a thanks to the whole family out there. Everybody knows when Rick's behind the board and there's a problem. I had a lot of buds side texting and texting us through the app about volume not working. So appreciate everybody keeping us on track, but glad to hear things are up and running and looking forward to a fun one. And phones are absolutely packed. Corey, let's jump into them.
How about Ed? Ed calling from University City. Appreciate you joining us on Let's Talk Hookup, Ed.
What's up, Ed?
Hey, good morning, guys. I've got a question. These boats, go out on a day and a half, and they're able to catch some big fish. Now, are those fish, are they processed on the boat, or do you have to take it to 5-star or something like that?
Fish processing on the boat, is that
so for
yeah,
for
cleaning and stuff,
Yeah.
This is for a day and a half?
Yeah, a day and a half and overnight.
Well, with Cameron being on the full day, I mean, most guys take them home and do them themselves.
It's half.
Yeah.
We cut half the fish on board.
Yeah.
Half go home whole or gill and gutted or something.
Right.
And then I think for a day and a half trip, I think it varies by the boat. It's boat by boat, circumstances, whether they cut or process.
I think your best move is just to get in touch with, the either the landing or the boat owner, because you're right. There's just a couple of variables at play, where you're going and what you're doing, and some of the size of the fish dictates it. To follow to the letter of the law to cut bigger bluefin, it starts to get close to just not doable. Loins can't be separated, and it's all got to be in the same bag, and the collars need to stay attached and things like that. It starts to just become not that practical when the fish, reach a certain size. And the other thing is just how busy the processors are. If your day and a half trip happens to be on the Sunday of a 3-day weekend and the entire long range fleet is all returning that day, and there's, too many reservations, sometimes it just gets too busy. And then on the flip side of that, man, no problem at all. We're going to be down here anyways, and there's only 2 boats going, and we'd love to take your fish. And it's just it's not quite a black or white, this or that answer. And some of the boats do it and do a great job, and other ones just leave it to the professionals and go that, and or the highest end of professional and go that route. So,
and you think about it, you're harvesting what would be like a deer, right? At the size of an animal.
Yeah, totally.
And in some cases, in most cases, I would say it needs to be treated right. Go to Fisherman's Processing. Talk to the boys over there before you go out, and like, hey, if I catch my limit, can I bring them in? Like,
totally.
A lot of times they'll accept like a private boat, a private individual coming in with a couple fish. So I mean, these bluefin definitely deserve the respect.
Yeah, it's you catch 100-pounder, it's almost a disservice to cut it on the boat.
Right.
It's what those guys do at Fisherman's and 5-star and all the processors.
It's the move.
It's the move.
And then what you get back to is just the perfect trim, perfect vac bag. It's not, it's not for then you to eat, to take home and then move from trash bag to Ziploc bag that then's getting freezer burn, all those things. Like, it's just I'm with you. It's the next step that it deserves.
And you could do it the way you want, dude.
Totally.
I want it in 5-pound blocks. It's done in 5-pound blocks.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty cool. But again, I think the move is just to call ahead of time. Call the boat owner, and then also call the processor. And if you're going on a day and a half trip and your goal is to have it processed by a Fisherman's Processing or somebody of the like, just call and make those quick calls and line it up. All good. And I hope you have a great trip. Going back to that though, how is fish care on the Mission Belle? I mean, that's all of your background and all the boats you've been on. It just seems like going down the list, the Vagabond and the Angler, and all of your spots are always those things that are so known for that. I mean, the fleet as a whole, but you've been on some real highliners when it comes to fish care. What's the process like on the Belle?
We're just repeating it.
Yeah.
We got to be creative in our own way, and once we pull the fish out and whose fish we're going to cut, and okay, this can go back into the well, and what's the best way to keep the fillets in the well, even though there's water introduced to them and bagged, and it's good.
That's great.
It's ours to, spray brine and 35 degrees, and the guys are very good at cutting, and, I just tell them, take your time.
That's awesome.
And we use Ziplocs when possible with the rules of, how big a fillet fits. And, but it's bleed, spike. Dylan got the bigger ones. Everything's bled from a white fish to a yellowtail.
That's so cool.
And what a difference that makes too.
It's everything.
I mean, just think about 10 years ago when a fish just hit a gunny sack and that was it. And what you guys produce now. And it makes fish that were just borderline. People would talk about, oh, this is good or this isn't good. And it just, there's very little that doesn't become excellent table fare when it's taken care of that way.
Yeah. The first few trips I was the owner, Steve drove. So I was the deckhand. I wanted to see how they did it.
Totally.
And then introduce kind of, and when you're in the wheelhouse, it's hard. You're thinking of other things. And so I just mixed it up with the guys, and, you could, when we're cutting fish, it's the board's clean, blood. Like, who didn't bleed this one?
So you can for sure see the difference on the table.
Huge difference.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
If your board's a bloody disaster, somebody slipped up.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. Like you say, a red rock cod, you bleed a red rock cod and you fillet it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, almost translucent.
Totally.
Yeah. Versus pink if you don't, it's
right.
you lay
the veins through it.
Yeah.
And
that's cool. Well, it's good to hear. And it, just like you say, it's the same level. Like that's what that harvest deserves. And that's how you keep it right. That's really cool. Well, hey, I appreciate the phone call very much. Also had a great text message come through. And this one, roll right back to it, was from Steve. Steve says, hey, I'm so excited to hear about the excellent yellowtail fishing Captain Cameron has had at the Coronado Islands. I'm looking to purchase my first surface iron outfit, wondering if the captain can lend me in the right direction for a beginner surface iron angler. That's from Steve in San Diego.
Ooh. I believe, Trinks has its place, but I think for your entry level, if you have the funds, a 20A, Shimano Trinidad,
It's the best surface iron reel that's ever been created.
Ever. And it's consistent. You remember Newell's, it's like one cast, the spool would be smooth. The next cast, it's wobbling. But
how about the drag system?
Yeah.
A whole nother.
90J.
Yeah.
I still fish
the
mine.
Best surface iron rod for 30 years is still one of the best surface iron rods.
And CalStar, with Chris taking over and the products being available and coming out, and that 90J and a Trinidad is the ultimate.
Yeah. The thing that's so cool about that combo too is, especially if you're a guy that rides the Mission Belle, like a surface iron rod is asked to do a lot more in 2025 than it was a long time ago. Like back in the day, that rod needed to catch a barracuda, a calico bass, and a yellowtail. And now that same outfit on Wednesday is at the Coronado Islands catching 20-pound yellows. And Friday, you might poke offshore and want to cast a surface iron and catch a 70-pound bluefin tune on it. And that rig you mentioned is somehow still perfect for both.
It's
a 12-inch calico bass at the ribbon kelp or a 70-pound bluefin. Somehow that exact rod and reel are still perfect for both of those things. Yeah. I love it. I think that's such a good recommendation and easy to cast.
Yes.
Fiberglass makes life easy. It's slow and it's spongy and it loads the lure well, but that rod's got plenty of guts to it.
And if a factory wrap rod, it's exactly what it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's got the cork tape handle. It's got the lighter guides. It's done. You can go into see Rick and pick one up and have the ultimate rod, but it's also entry level.
The other thing that I really like, and you mentioned what, some of the changes that we've got to see Chris do at CalStar is that rod's been around for probably 40 years, maybe more than that. And it was the same the entire time. Now that rod is offered in its exact same configuration that it always was, all fiberglass, but they have a 90J and then they have a 90JF, which is the F is for brand new Fuji guides, so they've made the same thing with the same ring guides forever. Still a great rod, still everything, but you can now order the same classic blank with state-of-the-art guides that are a little bit lighter and make a little less friction. And you just about never see rings, insert issues like that, like the old school classic with like the, souped up set of tires on it. Like it's cool.
The main purpose for that is to lighten it up. I mean, is that
it's a couple things like
or just Gucci looking
in the, it's a combination of all those.
Yeah.
In the old days, you always favored a stainless steel guide,
right?
Perfection guides. Those were the bomb because nothing ever happened to them. And you would, those light insert style guides, the generic term people always call them ceramic guides. Like, those things, sure, they're light, but the rings always pop out of them and they're a pain in the butt and you don't get any longevity out of them. You flash forward to today and it's like the exact opposite. We see far more, the tackle store in terms of repair and things like that. We see far more solders failing, holding a stainless steel ring guide in than we do the insert style guides. They used to just be held in with epoxy. Now they're like under huge amounts of pressure. The inserts are pressed into the guide frame. They're pressed and epoxied. The materials that they use are just so much higher end now that they're slicker and they're a little bit, now you're using a guide that's lighter. So, it allows the rod to do what the rod was supposed to more because it's not having to deal with the weight of the guides and they don't fail. It was a really cool move.
Yeah, like you don't see him crack as much. Remember, you used to see him crack.
And always.
You'd look at the guy's line and it'd start kind of fraying.
Totally.
You don't see that anymore.
Yeah, it's just, it's one of those things that is where the technology went and they became so much better. Can something happen? Always. Something can and will happen to everything. The highest end of everything will have its problem here or there, but those things are pretty damn bulletproof and a cool way to go. Anyways, I'm with Cameron. I love that rod. I love that.
Chris at CalStar offers both then.
You can walk into the tackle store, whatever your favorite shop is, you can buy the 90J the same way that it's always been for 40 years. Or you can buy the same thing with a little higher end set of guides and a couple more bucks on the price tag.
Cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think they made the right move.
Of like, don't fix what's broken.
Exactly.
But
here's
the Gucci version,
the revised edition.
Yeah.
The other thing those guys are doing that I love is, they make the best. When you make the best, you get to hang whatever price tag you want on it. Chris seems like very, in the most appropriate way, concerned with also making affordable options of things that those guys like all the time are trying to tweak material and come down. Hey man, we're thinking about building something like this. What do you think? And like, it's CalStar. So nothing is ever going to make it to the rack until it's perfect. But like they went right to work on, updating, refreshing thing. Exactly. The not brokes don't fix. And if we can add something cool to the lineup, let's do that. I love it. We're just so happy with the direction things are going up there. At least on a retail side of things, we love it. It's the best thing ever. And he let John get to do what John does, go wild and make rods. And, it's just everything. When they don't have something in stock, it shows up in a week. It's just, they're the best, man. We're really stoked.
A little different picture than maybe pandemic time, right? Like 5-6 years ago.
We're in a good spot. Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, hey, let's jump back into the phones, Cory.
Let's do that. How about John calling from Dallas? Good morning, John. Appreciate you joining us.
Good morning, guys. I'm getting excited. I'm coming back to California in September, and I'd like to take my daughter-in-law on our very first fishing trip, maybe to catch a bonita or a calico. What do you think of that?
Bring her on out.
Right. Yeah, right.
We that's what we do. We have a lot of people that come out for the first time, and they're my favorite. They're so appreciative to anything that's happening, from when we're starting to load bait to when we start fishing. They're kind of like, the first stop, they're kind of sheepish.
Yeah.
You don't want to get in the way. And by the end of it, they're right there in the mix, and, hooked.
I love that. Yeah.
See you next year.
You guys certainly have the right attitude and, and just it's the right spot to introduce somebody to. It's a great length of trip. It's long enough that you're going to get, plenty of time to be fishing on the water, but you're home at night, you're sleeping in your own bed. It's the right one. A great way to introduce them.
Get up early, breakfast burrito. You get the full experience.
And you guys take, on purpose, you take a lighter load. There's not a ton of people on the boat. There's an excellent ratio of crew members to people on board. And let's face it, everybody's always helping the young kid. Like, it's the most fun. It's got to be the most fun for you to get to see.
Totally. We had a guy a couple 3 days ago, single, grandpa and his 4 grandkids.
That's rad.
And they were just tearing it up. And I just told him, Grandpa, you're the man.
That's cool.
And he goes, they've all caught a yellowtail. Like, this is a win.
That's cool. What a
How
great trip.
cool is
I love
that?
that, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, I had another fun text come through from Wayne from CCA. It says, man, so great to see another captain and owner move into this position in the fleet. My question is, Cameron, what advice would you give to others who are wanting to follow your same success? A young crew member on board that has aspirations of owning his own boat.
Work ethics, one. You just be ready to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And ask questions. You know, I was talking to one of our kids on the boat yesterday, and I said, you don't ask enough questions. You know, why do I want you to throw bait up the side instead of straight off the back?
Yeah.
Or, you know, ask questions and take, there's going to be good advice and bad advice. You know, there's going to be crew members that have a really good skill set in something and maybe not so good at another. But the most important thing is learn what to do and what not to do and what makes it work for you. And find a good home.
Yeah.
You know, find a boat, talk to the captain. If whoever's the operator, if you're like-minded and you kind of, you know, he's a good guy and you mesh well, then that's where you need to be and find the right home.
What good advice that is. And I mean, being from the complete outside looking in, though, you can just see in your mind if this young guy is clearly eager and wanting to learn those things, you're going to be more eager to want to teach it to him. You know, if somebody's just
100%.
all right, yeah, whatever, no problem. Like even if in his mind that's what he wants to do, but he doesn't know how to vocalize that, it's like the squeaky wheel thing. Like, you know, if this guy's, hey man, I really want to know this, you're going to be more stoked to want to get to teach him it.
And fishing's the smallest part of it.
Right.
You know, learning the boat and the systems and how to treat people. That's
the core of it.
That's the core.
Yeah.
Everyone eventually is going to catch some fish for sure. There's better fishermen than other fishermen, but the guys, you know, whose boats are the nicest, run the smoothest, least mechanical issues, you know, that's what you want to learn.
And Brian Chiara has mentioned it many a times. We're in the entertainment business.
That's it. We are entertainers.
Right? I mean, that's kind of, and that's not a circus show. That's just treating people right and entertaining them, showing them a great time. That's the entertainment. Like,
you know, I teach that to the guys. You know, it's like, well, maybe not have a trip where we catch a bunch of fish, but at the end of the day, you know, side money's good and everyone was happy. And it's I go, we did it today.
Yeah.
You know, some of the best trips we've ever fish wise caught have been the worst trips, you know,
because you're too busy to give your brand of customer service to somebody.
Exactly.
I can see that for sure.
Oh man, so I wouldn't have even thought about that, man. That's good.
Yeah, you know, your limits. Look what we caught. But it's like, you know, maybe this guy got missed and had a horrific trip.
Right.
You know,
but you were too busy to recognize that he wasn't vibing the way that he should have been.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the recognition of that is the key.
Yeah.
And you've got
That's
it.
why you guys do it so good.
Yeah. And Cameron, we're stoked to have you in studio. And we're going to be right back. You're listening to Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup, not only on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, and Facebook Live, but on 97.3 The Fan.
45 years. That's how long we've been right here on Mission Bay, helping friends and family like you discover the joy of sailing, kayaking, and everything life on the water has to offer. I'm Logan from Bass Lane Kayaks, and if you ask Ron and Debbie Lane whether 45 years feels like a long time, they'll tell you time flies when you're having fun. You see, the Lanes have followed their passion for a life on the water, and they've made a living inviting others along for the ride. Over the years, the shop has grown and changed, and so have the employees and products inside. From selling catamarans in the 1970s as newlyweds, living in a VW bus in the store parking lot, to being the destination Hobie fishing kayak store they are today, working with their 2 sons and daughter. You might be looking for a new way to enjoy time on the water with your family, or maybe you're looking for a new way to stay active, enjoy nature, explore, and catch a spotted bay bass. Whatever your goals, come visit us in Dana Landing on Mission Bay, and we'll get you geared up and ready to enjoy life on the water.
Haida Gwaii Safaris, formerly Queen Charlotte Safaris, invites you to experience the magic of Haida Gwaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, I'm Valerie Hoprich. 25 years ago, I fell in love with these incredible islands, the breathtaking scenery, the warm community, and the truly phenomenal fishing. That passion inspired me to open my own fishing lodge, just steps from the Sandspit Harbor at Haida Gwaii Safaris. You will be fishing in pristine, pressured waters for Chinook, king salmon, halibut, lingcod, and much more. Plus, be surrounded by untouched beauty. We pride ourselves on creating an unforgettable venture that turns first-time guests into lifetime friends. You will come for the fishing, and you will come back for the memories. We are booking now. Call us at 1-877-815-2892 or visit our website, qcsafaris.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Haida Gwaii Safaris, where adventure and friendship meet.
The fish are biting and it's time to go. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, or maybe in front of the shop on my kayak. It doesn't matter if you are out there on a kayak with me, on your boat, headed out on a sport boat. Dana Landing has everything you need. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by John, is certainly one of the best. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. These guys have the best rods and reels and the hottest lures and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle with a great stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check out danalanding.com for more details.
For local or long-range fishing, we have you covered. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Being a part of the San Diego Sport Fishing Landing gives us a distinct advantage when it comes to getting you on the latest and hottest tackle for your trip. Our expert staff knows exactly what you need for your long-range or local trip, and we will not sell you something you don't need. We carry a huge inventory of the right tackle. So visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And man, so stoked to have Cameron in here. He's just a good all-around guy, fishy, and dude, the lines are full. It all shows, right?
Man.
I mean,
exactly.
But if you want to try to join us, 833-288-0973, or dude, the list of texts are endless.
Yeah.
So, but you can send one through the app, and stoked that you do.
And we got a lot of Let's Talk Hookup and a lot of time for your phone calls and texts. And speaking of phone calls, we're going to jump right back in. We got our buddy Arnie calling this morning. Good morning, Arnie.
Arnie.
Hey, good morning, Ricky, Cory, and Cameron.
Morning, Arnie.
Good morning, guys. I just wanted to talk about the San Diego Rod and Reel trip we're doing next month. It's the Big Fish, and we're doing it on the Belle. And just want to get the word out there. I still have spots to fill on the boat. The trip runs $291.50, and this has traditionally been a trip that we used to do on private boats, but this year, with the club doesn't have as many private boats anymore, we decided to switch over to this, and we offered this we wanted to do this with Cameron. And I do appreciate you guys, you taking this on, Cameron.
Absolutely.
And yeah, this has been like a 38-year tradition here. So it's like, the price is $291.50. Instead of cash prices, we're doing a rod and reel for first, second, and a rod for second, and a jig bag with a first and jigs for third. And I just want everybody to come out, invite everybody to come on. This is one of the trips the club does. It's open to everybody.
So that'll be it's a tournament, and the tournament is happening on board the Belle. Like so everybody that's on the boat that day is going to be into the tournament, and it sounds like instead of a jackpot, you're going to be winning some pretty serious fishing tackle prizes.
Yes, sir.
How cool!
The trip it's on the August 23rd. And if you want to get on the trip, give me a call or text me, okay? My number is 619-987-8127, all right? And we welcome everybody. So come on board. Let's go out and have some fun. I think in about a month, the way things are sounding offshore, we get a little bit of warm water push. We might be fishing really good offshore here.
No doubt about it, man. Well, certainly some great fishing and a very fun opportunity, something a little different to be able to fish in the Big Fish tournament on board the Belle. Going to be a lot of fun. Arnie, appreciate it very much. Again, August 23rd. It's a full day trip. And if somebody wants you, one more time, why don't you shoot us your phone number?
Yeah, one more time, it's 619-987-8127, and would love to see you guys all come out.
Thanks, Arnie. Best of luck. Hope the trip gets full and you guys catch a bunch of fish. We'll have to look forward to hearing the report from Cameron when you guys get back.
You betcha.
All right, Arnie.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the phone call. Appreciate it very much.
What a cool way for somebody to come join the group and just enjoy your service and fish on the Belle, man. Mission Belle.
Cool tournament.
Right?
Yeah,
It's a neat way to do it.
Speaking of which, good fishing going on right now. Let's find out what's going on in time for the catch report, Cory.
I know we've got Brian Woolley and from Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. It's brought to us by Gamakatsu. And if you like to fish for tuna and you're not using Gamakatsu hooks, you're missing the bites. Their 720 heavy duty assist hook is the one for nighttime jigging and for bait fishing. Nothing beats the Nautilus circle hooks. They come in sizes as small as a number 4 and all the way up to a 6/0. And for big fish, the Nautilus HD is tough enough but not oversized. You can see your local dealer or just check gamakatsu.com. And Mr. Brian Woolley, Dana Wharf, good morning.
What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. What's up, Cam? Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Woolley.
Man, it was a weird week. We started the week and it felt like it was summer. We had 70-degree water, and then by the end of the week, it felt like we were fishing in November. It was just, the water temps just plummeted. The calico bass fishing for the half-day guys was great at the beginning of the week. Like I said, that 71-degree water, that stuff was up and on the live baits. We had larger sardine for our live bait. Still, those bass were trying to, eat that stuff. The guys that fished the smaller profile rubber lures definitely caught more fish. I'm talking like smaller swim baits, fluke baits, that kind of stuff, things that look small like an anchovy. Fished well at the beginning of the week for those guys. Sheephead for the guys on their sinkers, whitefish, a few halibut still in the mix for those half-day guys. And as the week went on and that water dropped, I mean, it was a 10-degree hit almost overnight. Wednesday night, that wind blew, and by Thursday morning, we left the harbor, and 59.9 was the water temp when we left the harbor. So things got a little tight as the week went on. So the 3/4 day guys did fish some bass for a little bit, and then they folded in a little bit of sculpin fishing, whitefish, shallow water rockfish, just kind of out of necessity, to catch something. But as the week kind of progressed, the water did kick up a little bit yesterday. The warmest we saw was 65.5. So if we can steer clear of some of this wind, that water temp will creep back up. Over at Catalina, the new San Mateo had some good calico bass fishing and some mixed size yellowtail on a couple of their trips, all day trips this week. That yellowtail was like 5 to maybe 15 pounds, and some bonito and barracuda along with that yellowtail at that island. Then over at Clemente, the Fury, he did miss a couple days this week with that wind, so he was at the dock, but the days that he was over there, he still had a good little go around with some of that mixed grade yellow there. That stuff was like 10 to 25 pounds. Some decent calico bass fishing in the kelp there, and then guys fishing the sinkers, plenty of whitefish, sheephead, some rockfish and stuff like that along the edge of the kelp there. And they're back over there this morning. I haven't heard from Marcus yet, so I'm not sure what they have going on today, but they did have a couple yellowtail there yesterday as well. And then finally, the Lexi and the Current 6-pack boats there, they're stretching it out. They both had a couple bluefin in their counts over the last couple days. The Current had a nice 220-pound bluefin yesterday and some calico bass in their fish count on the same trip. So you can let your brain kind of do some thinking there
no
where they were fishing. Right. So they were up behind an island someplace and, went back inside there. So, stuff's just moving around. Things were a little mixed up this week, but, it is what it is when you're fishing the coast for most of your day. So we'll keep tabs on it this week. We've got some nice sardine for bait, and we'll see how it goes. So if you want to hop on a trip with us this week, our number here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web as well at danawharf.com.
That's
Awesome,
great.
man.
Yeah.
Good fishing, Woolley.
And rebounding of the water temp, man. It's all good. It's climbing up.
Did you get
That's
the
it.
shirt, Woolley?
Little changes and a couple little minor things, and we'll be back to where it should be. But man, I'm telling you, 59.9 in July was just a little hard to see that. But it is what it is.
That's a hard one to swallow.
Did you get the shirt, Woolley?
Yeah, I did. Thank you very much.
We had baby Woolley on the boat the other day.
Hey, rad!
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I had a couple of crew guys went down and fished, so it was a good time. Yeah, thanks for having them.
No,
Yeah,
you have good kids.
That's awesome.
Thank you, man. Yeah, good stuff. Appreciate it.
Well, Woolley, certainly sounds like good fishing, rebounding conditions, and some good fish counts, man. We'll take all that. What's the best way to come find you if we want to book a trip to go out of Dana Wharf sport fishing?
Cool. Again, call the office, 949-496-5794. They can book you right there, or danaworth.com. Easy for the computer-savvy people that want to do it without having to talk to a person.
Awesome. Well, good info, man. Appreciate that very much, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great week.
Thanks, Willie. We have Gundy standing by, but we're getting close to that top of the hour. So, Gundy, we're going to ask you to hang just a quick sec for us while we continue to roll. But I had Cory. You said you got a fun text going through.
Perfect text. Good morning, Rick, Cory, and Captain Cameron. I'll be on Reggie's Mission Belle Mafia on August 9th. See you soon. My question is about seeing some bluefin coronados showing up in the fish counts. What are they caught on? How you seeing them, and what's the setup?
Yeah, how to be best prepared if that presents itself when you're on your full day trip.
It's like yellowtail when you're there. You know, they were boiling up. We only had one surface iron guy on the boat yesterday. He hooked one, and then the rest was the fly line baits.
Okay.
You know,
they're showing themselves. I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah,
bait fishing on the anchor, man.
It's funny. You always get that because the pins obviously are there, and it's like, are these escapees?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, it's kind of funny.
What's the right line size to be fishing if you're going to take advantage of? I mean, whether it be yellowtail or bluefin or anything in the mix, like what
25 or
25
30 pound seems to be. You know, and I just been telling people it's an assortment of hooks.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting bait every day.
Yeah.
Some days it's anchovy, some days it's small cracker size sardine, and some days it's big giant. Huge 12-inchers. Number 4s to 2.0s.
Yeah, just have a little mix.
Yeah. Once we get it on the boat, we'll let you know.
That doesn't mean you have to have huge quantity of everything, but have a few bags of a few sizes of hooks and be prepared for a little bit of everything.
I just have a feeling if a guy came on the boat, didn't have the right size hook appropriate, I'm sure Cameron's.
Oh yeah, Missouri sent us a giant thing of fluorocarbon, so every rent rod's fluorocarbon dial.
Oh wow, so cool.
And because I want everyone to catch it.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
So we're going to make sure everyone's rigged up to the fullest.
That benefits you guys the best. And where do you fall on a guy fishing a short top shot, a little bit longer one? Do you like mono? Like, you've got to see it from all sides.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good stuff. And by the way, that text came from Tyler in Tennessee. So thank you very much.
Oh, right on, Tyler.
Right? Hey, we got a full another hour ahead of us with Cameron from the Mission Belle. When we return, not only on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube and Facebook Live, but on 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back.
Anyone that's been to the East Cape knows Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best food and drink in Los Barillas, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top-notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner, Chris, and my buddies when fishing in the East Cape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's, too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the East Cape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a Seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, Vaquera, booked at BajaSmokies.com, should be your choice. So when you're headed to the East Cape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details.
Hey guys, this is Ali Husseini from Local Knowledge and BD Outdoors. I'm a lucky guy in so many ways, and one thing I'm really grateful for is my little brother, Yosef. Yosef is not only a fellow angler, but he's also an amazing realtor that specializes in helping us in the angling community find the ultimate home. If you own a home, get a free no-obligation evaluation online now by typing in SoCalHomeEval.com. That's SoCalHomeEval.com. All you do is put in your address, and you'll get a home value report immediately sent to your email. No pressure, no obligations, just answers. Yosef is the SoCal real estate go-to guy. He's helped me and so many of my fellow fishing buddies find what they're looking for in a home. He knows anglers, and he understands the real estate market. Not only that, but he's also a really nice guy. How many brothers can you say that about? Go to SoCalHomeEval.com and find out where you stand in the real estate market, and then get with Yosef and find your ultimate home. Again, go to SoCalHomeEval.com, and we'll see you on the water.
I believe there is no doubt that the finest sport fishing in the world starts right here in San Diego. This is Captain Frank Lopresti. Our fleet of long-range boats and crew are unmatched, and the Royal Polaris and Shogun are right at the top of the list. Captain Jonathan Yamati and his crew aboard the Royal Polaris are considered to be the finest long-range vessel in the world. From summer bluefin, yellowtail, and wahoo to giant yellowfin tuna, our record is unmatched. The Shogun, under the direction of Captain Rene Monteagudo, has become one of the most popular long-range boats in the fleet. This big, wide, solid riding vessel has gained a reputation for catching fish and treating their customers to an epic vacation on the water. I am so proud of Jonathan, Rene, and the crews on both the Royal Polaris and Shogun, as they have helped me keep the reputation of the premier vessels in the long-range fleet. Come see for yourself. Book a trip on the Royal Polaris or Shogun today. Check RoyalPolarisSportFishing.com or ShogunSportFishing.com, or call Monica or Jen in the office at 619-226-8030.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hi, I'm Wandy Peralta.
Wandy gloves it, sets himself, fires to first in time.
The Padres play here in San Diego, number 1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports Station. This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Cory Sanden.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup coming your way here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live at 97.3 The Fan. What a great morning we're having this morning. Captain Cameron from the Mission Belle joining us, and good fishing to be had, good phone calls, good info. This is just a great show, Cory.
Oh, having so much fun. And Cameron just dude, he's one of those good guys, one of the guys you want to hang out with. And you want to hang out with us, you can do so. 833-288-0973 is the telephone number. Jeff Hanby's waiting for you at the Fan, 97.3 The Fan. Or you can just send us a text via the app. Dude, there's a ton of texts coming through.
You're not kidding. Very popular guy this morning.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and speaking of popular guys, we're going to continue with our catch report. We got the man, the surf guru himself, Gundy Gunderson, is on the line. What's up, Gundy?
Gundy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Gundy, it's great. Sorry to keep you hanging like that. I just, you're one. I know when Cory's in here, the surf report is his favorite thing, and I wasn't about to rush you at the top of the hour. We wanted it to have its justice. So sorry to strand you on hold there, buddy, but we wanted to make sure there was appropriate time.
I wanted Gundy's full.
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
Thanks, buddy.
I'd say that, the change, that's been the challenge this year, has been the changing conditions. So it hasn't meant bad fishing. Actually, the fishing's pretty darn good. But what's a little different is that, the trends aren't long. So by the time some of this information comes out, things have changed. So what I advise is that you do your own hunting, because, conditions can change daily. So when you're on it day to day or every other day or a couple times a week, you really get a beat on the bite. And that's kind of the guys who are doing the best. It's not like by the time the word's out, it's still going to be happening. So it's one of those reaction type things, but very solid Corbina fishing, lots of sand crabs now. The croaker bite continues real strong, and, almost more spot fin than yellowfin, and that's rare to see that, and really quality spot fin. Lots of fish in the 5-pound class. And then the halibut, I think, has retreated a little as the water's warmed. A lot of 18 to 28-inch fish, stuff like that. And then, the bays are really good. The bay bass fishing, I saw, someone sent me a picture of a 3-pound, 4-ounce bay bass this week. Just a fabulous fish, So, starting up in Santa Barbara, they've had a series of grunion runs, and it really, really lit up the Goleta Pier there. There's that area is always really good. Sea bass like it in there. They catch striped bass in there. And these guys were telling me 2-3 halibut a day mixed with sea bass, some legal fish to 36 inches. A really, really good bite, I was told. Went on there right up until this new moon where the tides kind of backed off a little bit. Their best Corbina fishing's been Summerlin, the Pitus Point, which is working towards Ventura there. Ventura, Oxnard, seeing some Corbina catches like that. And then we moved down to Long Beach, and Long Beach, the guys there at Big Fish told me excellent croaker fishing, yellowfin, spot fin, sargo, all in and around the harbor. The long rodders are getting them off the beach there. Mussel, ghost shrimp, probably the best bait, and real good halibut fishing, but just not a lot of big fish, 18 to maybe 25 inches, but they are biting real good off the beach on flukes, those white flukes, drop shot, or fished with a dart head, hard to beat. That area, that always fishes good. You know, Dana Point reported very good croaker fishing in and around the harbor there. They had several legal halibut also taken in and around the harbor, so that's a fishy area. That grunion likes to run in there at Doheny, so that could be part of what's going on there. And then the best Corbina fishing for the Dana Point guys has been from the San Clemente Pier South, T Street, Rivieras, State Park, that whole zone, always good. And then Pacific Coast, they got their derby going, and they've only got a 1 pound, 3/8 ounce Corbina. So that's definitely beatable.
Wide open.
The guys are saying they're seeing Corbina everywhere, and it's just a matter of finding the clean water and the good conditions. But that's just going to get better. I see it as a late bloomer here as conditions come together.
Well, a great report. I'm still trying to reel from that 3 pound, 4 ounce spotty, man. That's a real one. Well, a great report, Gundy. Sounds like some very good fishing to be had and some very good fishing on the horizon for some of the spots as well. A very complete one as always, man. We say it a bunch, but we sure appreciate it. You compile such a good report, literally all the way up and down the coast, and it's just awesome, man. We love it, and we really appreciate you.
Yeah, I thank my shops for that. Yeah, that bay bass, you know, when a fish gets so large that it doesn't work well in gravity out of the water, the belly's hanging down, and it was just a monster.
That's cool.
All right, guys.
Great job,
show.
Gundy. Appreciate you very much. Talk to you next week, buddy. Thanks a lot for that.
Oh, my
Have a
gosh.
good one.
Good stuff, Gundy. And it's brought to us by surffishtackle.com. Check it out for all your surf fishing needs. Surffishtackle.com.
You know, one thing before we get rolling into the next part of it, Cameron, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to the time that you've not only put into the boat and all the great fishing you've had, but I know how much work that takes, and I know how much work you and your family have put into the boat. And on your only couple of days off, they haven't been spent trying to recover for that, and they haven't been spent taking jack fishing, but you've been on our behalf a lot working with the folks from CCA, and you've been putting a ton of extra time in literally just to benefit the rest of us. And I just wanted to say a huge thanks for that. Like I know how much you put into it and what a huge difference it's making. And it's not an easy thing to force yourself to go do, I'm sure.
No, these these closures that we're facing, this petition process, they're real.
Yeah.
And it's selfishly for me, it's Point Loma. It's our backyard. It's where I live. It's where I lobster fish. It's where the Mission Belle is going to run winter trips.
Mm-hmm.
And we're thriving. We have kelp. We have good fishing. We have calico bass.
So healthy right now.
And so I took it on. SAC is unbelievable.
CCA involved.
CCA, Tony, Donna. It's funny. I'm like in the cool kids group now. And Mitch Conant from Mitch's, he's heavily involved. And so we fly up to these meetings in Sacramento every other month. And now we're kind of in the clique with them. And this whole thing comes down to a judgment call, really, with the commissioners.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy,
right? The decision of whether a place that'll be open for your boy to get to fish in the future is made by, 4 or 5 people.
With California budget cuts.
Yeah.
So, we're not getting, like 15 years ago when the last MPA process happened, we're not getting the full reports and economical. It's, I don't want to say it's rushed, but it's rushed in a lot of ways. But with that being said, the work that CCA and SAC and Donna from Dana Wharf put in, we can't stress enough to treat these commissioners with respect.
Right.
And I'll give it to them. I've emailed them all with zero representation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Cameron from SAC. I'm not Cameron from CCA. I'm just a fisherman.
Right.
And I've spoken to most of them. Samantha Murray came out lobstering with me because I told them, you need to see what we have.
Right.
And what
you see what you're potentially going to shut down with a stroke of a pen.
And the financial impact, the tackle shop, my lobster business. I own a local fish market.
Just for the pure public to recreate.
And it was the perfect day. She came out. There was a couple guys lobster fishing. There was a family just drifting in the kelp bed. Probably not even going to catch a fish, honestly. Just upside down spinners, but enjoying.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, it's our right to fish, and yes, it's not fair to close it and all that. But participate, get involved, write letters, but man, be respectful.
100%. Right?
You had stressed this morning that the calm heads are what prevail in that scenario, because you've got to sit there and see it.
Yeah, we sit in these meetings and you see the look on the commissioners' faces when they're being belittled, they're not spoken to nicely. It does us no good.
Right.
And there's freedom of speech, and we all feel that way.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you're not saying a guy shouldn't feel that way.
Totally.
But when it's 4 people that make that decision and somebody gets on F-bombing them, like anybody shuts off.
Yeah, or belittling them, or it's
nobody hears that and thinks, "Oh man, that guy makes a great point. I should totally change my mind." That's not how that happens.
My look is when they get to the voting table or however that final process works, is they go, "Man, we feel for Cameron.
Yeah.
What is this decision going to do for Cameron? What is it going to do for the representatives of SAC?"
Totally.
And we can feel that way. And when we're hanging out with each other, we can talk that way if that's how you want to. But man, when it comes to being political, you got to be political and be polite. You just, as soon as someone starts teeing off on the phone in these big meetings, you just see the eye rolls and I think a commissioner gets $500. Is kind of their pay. It's a volunteer job for whatever the future it brings to them.
So how do we volunteer for that job? I want to be on the decision board, right?
I do not.
No, I know. No, I completely agree.
You're getting to live that and see it.
But I would love to be able to make the decision, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what is on the docket right now? Like, what is?
There's
what are we potentially looking at here?
So Dana Point's facing a real tough closure. Point Loma, it's 15 miles.
That's crazy. That is Point Loma.
It is Point Loma.
15 square miles, or
it's if you were to draw a line from the current closure at Cabrillo, call it to the Whistler is probably a safe.
The whole buoy line.
Yeah, just kind of northwest of the buoy line, like Lighthouse Ridge is kind of out of it, and then you take the 3 mile line, the offshore 3 mile line, and you run it all the way north to the pier, and then you go straight into the beach from the pier.
It's Point Loma.
You're talking Ocean Beach Pier. Like
it is
the whole thing.
There's an amendment for a little bit smaller one but it's still it incorporates all the hard bottom.
Yeah.
New Hope Rock gone.
I'm speechless. Seriously.
I was blind to it. I saw it on an Instagram post a year ago. Whoa. Like, this is real?
And it's so easy to be like, that'll never be a thing. You can't take Point Loma away. That would never happen. It's so easy to have that attitude and then go back to scrolling.
Are they doing that possibly so that when they get half of it, we're happy? I mean, is that
I think so. I mean, keep the commissioners out of it, and the negotiations and talkings we've had with Enviro California, who's kind of leading this petition. I think they're like, look, we're compromising.
Right.
But it's like a dinner plate. You got your filet mignon, broccoli, mashed potatoes. It's like, broccoli and mashed potatoes is cool, but it's all about the filet. So they're like, oh, we'll just take that off and take the meat of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we're thriving.
Yeah.
Our backyard.
So in mentioning all this, I mean, other than CCA and SAC and like yourself going up there on your days off, there's listeners that want to get involved.
So Fish and Game or Fish and Wildlife, they do a great job. If you go on the website and, just kind of start searching meetings. And like I said, I am no professional, but you can sign up for the emails. And so I get 5 emails a day, and there'll be one of the emails coming up. There's a meeting in August about now we're going to get an email to submit letters.
Right.
And, Cameron 2 years ago to have been like, nobody reads the letters. But I started submitting these letters, and they don't have to be much.
Right.
It's just, I love Point Loma. I love fishing. This is what I do. I'm a recreational. This is my weekend. And
imagine those piled up, right?
yeah, and they read them. I was talking to one of the head ladies, gals on the MRC committee, Marine Resource Committee, and she goes, "Oh, I read your letter."
Really?
So and I don't get to the front of the pile or anything.
Yeah.
It's my chicken scratch, misspelled words, and it's
real.
It's real.
Yeah.
And it was eye-opening. And just be positive and supportive, and why we love our areas. And this goes for the whole coast.
So that email is coming up in August?
Yeah, we just got done with the meeting. There's one in August, there's one in October. We're probably a year out.
Oh, from submitting emails or
no. You can submit a letter for every meeting, and they're about every other month.
Crazy.
That's good info, man.
And
like you say, what a small thing. And if it's just one of those things, if all of us were to do that, it'd just be such an overwhelming thing.
Because I'll tell you that the other side that we're competing against, they are strong.
Yeah.
And they are professional, and they're very good at it, and it's
very
all
well
funded. I lose money. I got to pay Steve to run the boat. I got to buy my own flights, hotel, whatever it takes. And these people I swear they get paid for how many words they say at the meeting.
Crazy.
So just
and I bet you they come off on a pretty professional level. Like you're advising fishermen to not be.
Yeah, you don't have to,
just don't be stupid. Let's just say it.
Yeah,
exactly. Totally. We all know what that is. Exactly.
Just straight up. Just don't be dumb.
Be respectful, and the point gets across. You can be,
Well, again, on behalf of all of us, I mean, we know what that's taken. And like you said, you said it best. That's money out of your pocket, and that's money away from your family, but it's really important. And I think it's very cool that you've chosen to do that. And like you say, it might be self-serving on a small end, but let's be real. Like it's
for everybody.
It's for everybody.
I mean, we look at the new generation at the dock. You've got kids, Taro has kids, Andrew, myself. Like, could you imagine not going on the Dolphin or the Daily Double?
That's what I'm saying.
Anchoring up the kelp bed and eating a cheeseburger and catching calico bass.
I'm living for my boys to be old enough to jump on the Mission Belle and go catch a fish. Owen. Owen's one of my boys' best buds. Like to think that those guys are would potentially not get to go to Point Loma and catch a calico bass is just that can't be a thing.
I don't want to tell you how sick that makes me.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Well, hey, the phone lines are packed up. And again, a huge thanks, Cameron, from all of us. Phone lines are packed up as well as a text. If you want to get through, give us a call, 833-288-0973. I wanted to start back in with a great text. Says, good morning, boys. What a great attitude Captain Cameron has. For someone that's jumping on the boat this week, is yellowtail fishing at the islands a run and gun scenario, or are you fishing on the anchor? Secondly, what would you recommend for me to bring tackle-wise? That's from Bryce in Point Loma.
It's, we've been anchoring. It's awesome. It's come around one of the islands and like see one of the the corks or some of the commercial gear and see the current pulling in and like, ooh,
love it.
Ooh, okay.
Conditions right.
Or going up there and maybe it's not right. And like, I'll see you in a couple hours. Fly line, 25, 30 pound assortment of hooks, small sliders, we 1/8 ounce split shot, something like that for the anchovy, a 6X Junior, and your surface iron.
I love it. Man. That's awesome.
Put me on board. I'm ready.
This is, you've touched on it twice already, but boy, this is very clear that this is a year that you just need to come out, be prepared for all types of live bait fishing that might exist. From a pinhead anchovy to a big sardine to everything in between to a squid to a mackerel. I mean, like this year is just going to be one of those years you just need to be prepared for a little bit of it because it's a little bit inconsistent in that, we're just so used to always having a 5 to 7 inch sardine and a 1/0 or 2/0 hook that you never think twice about and fire it back there. And this year you're always going to get the best of what's available, but what's available has been changing.
And with that anchovy, we get guys on the boat and they're like, oh, anchovy. Oh no. And it's like, no. Fishing gear is so good now.
Yeah.
To fish an anchovy. Before it was, you couldn't cast or anything. Now with Light Spectra and Light Line and these little Trinidads and stuff, it is no big deal.
Yeah.
And last week we had no sardine. We were straight anchovy. We had great yellowtail fishing.
On the Chove.
Yeah,
you had great bluefin fishing.
Great bluefin fishing, anchovy. Cool. it's okay.
Yeah.
I think people have lost sight. Seriously. I mean, number one, we have the Evernham brothers who,
Yeah.
where if that beautiful, the cookie cutter 5 to 7 inch sardines available, that's what they're going to do. Right.
We saw the bait guys yesterday, they're just fried, trying their hardest.
Sure.
And it's like, we're good, man. We
Yeah.
have bait going into our tanks and it works.
Yeah.
Everything in the ocean eats an anchovy.
Totally.
We
Dude,
got
everything. I mean, that's what the bite of California is built upon, man.
I mean, how many times have you heard a captain complain like, oh, there's too much bait in the water. There's too much anchovy. Now we have anchovy.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, let's face it, you can pack it on and pour it on. I mean, that's the beauty of the chove, man. That you never see the bottom of the tank.
No.
It's just it's always there. It's always full.
And a yellowtail or bluefin doesn't see the bottom of their belly either,
Totally.
right? Like they can't eat enough to fill it up, you know?
Yeah, that was one thing I caught you were talking about with calico bass that made such sense. When you're at the kelp line and you're sprinkling some anchovy around, like those things can eat 6, 8, 10 of those things and keep going.
Yes.
You get big sardine and a 14-inch calico bass, eats one, like that's it. Like
Yeah, you
there's
saw
not room for any more.
You saw 20 boils, they all just filled up and they're done.
And the sea lions don't mess with them. I
That's
mean,
a
how
great
many
point
times
too,
have we
man.
reeled in a sardine and you just have the head?
Every time.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah.
They don't eat the anchovies.
Yeah. It's a great call.
Wow.
Man. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some real good there.
Yeah.
I like your attitude, man. I like it. Well, phone lines are packed, Cory. Let's jump right back
Let's
in.
do that. How about Robert? Robert calling from Canyon Country. Good morning, Robert.
What's up, Robert?
Good morning, guys. Amateur lure builder. Went out last week with 3 of my grandsons, and we slayed them at night with homemade lures. So I have a flying fish lure, and I was wanting to ask the captain, will they hit that without a kite? Number one question. And number two, when you do get a kite fish, which hook is getting hooked up the most?
Ooh, without a kite, you'd almost be like on a slide, I think, since you're floating it back. Wouldn't you say, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, could it? Sure. It at least in conventional methods, it's difficult to get the lure where you would want it to be and have it looking right without some sort of aerial presentation. You being the lure manufacturer, if you could thread that needle, then great. But it's one of the things that's so attractive about those kite things is that all the gear's out of the water, and the only thing that's left is just that silhouette of the flyer. So I don't know. I mean, if you could figure that out in a way that one could be fished appropriately off of the rod tip, it'd be a great thing. It'd be a great thing for the tackle store. I can tell you that much. You've seen a lot of those kite bites, and it's pretty common to be rigged. I'd say you could call the conventional rigging a big J hook forward and the treble hook of the stern.
Yeah.
What hook when you're on the deck? What hook are you typically taking out of them?
It just depends.
Yeah,
If
okay.
they're in the mode where they're tackling them, we don't get the hooks back until we go and gut
Yeah,
them.
right.
Wow.
If it's one of those days where they're just nipping at it and it takes 10 attempts before you hook one, it usually seems to be that treble hook.
That sounds
That's
crazy,
good. That's
man.
good info. Yeah.
Extraction.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing your bait, Robert. I hope you get it fine tuned, and pretty cool to hear you caught some of those yellows on your homemade lures there last week. Had a fun text from Darren in Menifee. He says, "Good morning, Cory and Cameron. For full day trips on the Mission Belle, is there a heads up on the appropriate website to follow, or how do we find out what you're targeting, whether it be offshore islands, etc., or is that really a decision made when you're leaving the dock in the morning?" My last part of the question is, do you prefer to fish Coronado Islands versus shore? I really can't wait to come fishing with you. It's been a great show.
We Instagram's probably our most up to date. Our website's almost done for the boat. Our personal one. The landing does a good job of updating what we're doing. We try to commit to something. If we're going to fish the islands, we try. Earlier this year, I was jumpy. I just wanted to fish.
Yeah, you want to go.
I just want to go. Is it offshore? Is it islands? But with the passport thing, we got to kind of, run a week of one location. We're islands. The boat's offshore today, and then we're islands for August here so far. Because that was one thing we got. People like the Mission Belle because the Mission Belle fish the islands a lot, and so we're trying to kind of stay true to that.
Yeah.
As long as we can, catch enough to keep people coming.
But if that offshore scene's just outside of the islands, I mean, it's like game on, right?
It can be, yeah.
What on a personal level? Yeah, I mean, you spent a lot of time offshore and you've spent a lot of time on the beach. Like if both were an opportunity, if you could have a 50 fish day on yellowtail or a 50 fish day on bluefins, And again, nothing to do with the business. This is just Cameron personal. What do you want to do?
The islands.
Yeah.
There is nothing better than, like yesterday, we came around the north end and there was a little bit of yellowtail and kick it over and they're boiling up behind the boat and, engines off and biter and, 2-3 going. That is it.
Like Cory says, man, sign me up for that.
Right.
Dude, that sounds
I know,
great.
man.
Yeah.
And it's rewarding, right? It's like something you have to put the pieces of the puzzle together, figure out the current here, current there, birds are picking over there, but look at it over here.
I cheesed yesterday. We were catching a few. We kept 1, 2, 3 going towards the last part, and I sat on the upper deck and just kind of took it in for 10 minutes.
Cool.
It was just 70 degrees. It was blue. There's tern birds, yellowtail coming on. It was like, this is it.
That's it, man. That's why you did it.
Yeah,
that's cool. I love it. That's a great story. Well, with that said, we're going to find out what's going on. It's time for our fishdope.com report, Cory.
And that's brought to us by the pros of Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, and it's where you get your premier processing experience. You can check out their easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. And with more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. With more same-day capacity and the finest customer service, you can also stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street, or just go check them out at fishermansprocessing.com and make your reservations today. And good morning, Yusuf.
Good morning, guys. How we doing today?
Hey, great, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning. Great show today. Bringing back lots of memories of fishing half days as a kid and eating awesome cheeseburgers.
Right?
No doubt about it, buddy.
Up in the islands, Santa Rosa, Santa Cruz area, still kicking out big fish. Sea bass has slowed down a little bit on Rosa, but it's pretty good odds that you're going to catch one if you find a squid bed. Halibut fishing has been absolutely ridiculous up there. Still going, it's crazy. One of the bigger things is bluefin have showed up there, south of Santa Rosa and Santa Cruz, 20 to 200 pounds. So it's a full mixed bag of, the bluefin deal. St. Nick is still going good with big white sea bass, 25 to 50 pound, and the halibut as well are chomping. There's live squid over at the sand spit. There's also big yellowtail they're catching over there too. Really good fishing. Catalina, same deal. Front sides, you got some smaller fish, 3Bs, all you want on the front. There are some bigger fish in the back, but they're only running to about 15 pounds. San Clemente, same deal. Big yellowtail. It's an early bite still, 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the ticket. There's a big squid bed near the caves in Pyramid Cove. And most of those fish are being caught in about 130 feet of water. Offshore, the Cherry Bank, Tanner Bank area over on the ridge has been a little bit slower, still getting some bigger ones. There has been some better daytime signal with fish coming up and foaming. Most of these fish are still 40 to 200 pounds. Most of the stuff that's happening on the bigger ones is in the afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. and then again right before sundown. We have a whole new zone of tuna right now. All those fish up on the ridge, we're pretty sure that a lot of them have moved down into the West Butterfly. There's also some good sized yellowtail being found on kelps in that zone. Mackerel Bank is still pretty good out there. There's reports of yellowfin also running with the dolphins out there. So you can go play with the ponies, hopefully get a couple yellowfin on board. Those are smaller fish, 20 to 40 pounds. Down 371, 425, 302 area, it's still pretty good. It slowed down from what it was a few days ago. Guys are getting a lot of the yellowfin down there, 20 to 40 pounds, trolling feathers and cedar plugs. There are some bigger yellowtail on the kelps down there, as well as bluefin. Hidden Bank, local pongas out in Sonata have caught a few decent sized bluefin on Mad Max, and there still are some yellowtail on the bank out there. But overall, man, it's really heating up and fishing's getting good everywhere.
Man, what a great report that is. And glad to hear, like you say, glad to hear there's such a spread to that offshore fish. If a guy's in Orange County, there's not the need to come down to San Diego and vice versa. It sounds like there's plenty of fish in just about everybody's backyard from the Central Coast all the way down to below the border. Yusuf, a great one, and glad to hear that things are going so well.
Oh, one more thing. Yesterday, somebody caught a decent-sized bluefin right off of Oceanside, like 14 miles off.
Oh, okay.
Like to hear that, man. That's
And
great.
that was on Fish Dope. Yeah, they're getting close.
That's awesome. And you know, the bait situation has really been coming around. Fishing's been coming around, and glad to hear that there's private boat jig strikes in the local zone too. That sure makes things a lot easier for guys. It's not all necessarily setting a kite up and having to run 100 miles. When you can take your skiff out and go 25 or 30 miles and drag some feathers around and hear the clicker go off, it sure makes for a fun day.
That is for sure.
No doubt. Well, what's been going on the real estate side of things? I know that's keeping you really busy here lately with summer coming on.
It has. We're selling. People are getting back into the market. Rates are floating down. Hopefully Powell leaves office and we get some movement here with the rates. So he's talking about stepping down, and that'll really help us with moving the market again. But it's still moving. It's just still a little slow, you know. Higher rates, people really slow down on the buy-in.
Roger that. Well, let's hope it comes back around for our favor and you get rolling. A fantastic report as always, buddy. Again, thank you for taking the time all the way up and down the beach. And if you want to keep in touch with that fishdope.com info, follow the bite charts, water temperatures, currents, information, weather, everything about it. Fishdope.com is your complete source. And if you want to get a new membership, you can save $30 by using the code Hookup now. It's all lowercase, no space. Saves you $30 off a new membership. And Yusuf, if somebody wants to keep in touch with the Anglers Realtor, how do we find you?
You can get me on my cell phone, 619-277-2169. You can look for houses on my website at sportsmansrealty.com. I also offer free home evaluations at SoCalHomeEval.com.
You're the best, buddy. Appreciate it very much. Talk to you next week.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, bro.
It was a good report, and it's brought to us by Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. It's a place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. And did you know Summit Gas also is the place to get your lowest prices on ice and snacks for your trip? Over 40 different snacks, and all of them for 89 cents. And it's nearly half the price of the other places. And now you can get your burritos and sandwiches for your trip as well, all made fresh daily. And dude, it's crazy. Ice for $3.99 for a 25-pound bag, and you get 100 pounds of free ice with a 35-gallon fill-up. It's crazy. Can't believe they're still offering that, right? It's only Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. It's crazy.
I had a great buddy on our Katmai trip, Marty and his wife Carol, and he's like, you know, he really into freshwater fishing, big duck hunter, all that kind of, but loves listening to Let's Talk Hookup because I don't go tuna fishing. He goes, I haven't been tuna fishing since there was an albacore. He goes, but I know one thing. I know where to get my cheap ice and I know where to get my cheap fuel. Listens to Let's Talk Hookup every weekend. Just likes the show, likes the fun. Great dude. Super fun to fish with. But that was his big thing. He kept telling me, Summit. He's a Summit's the spot, man. Free ice. Free ice with a 35-gallon fill. He knew the whole drill.
Dude, it is a real deal,
crazy,
man. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And to get 25 pounds of it for $3.99. I mean, it literally is. It's less than half the price for a bigger bag everywhere else. Those guys do a really good job, man.
It's
no doubt.
incredible for sure. It's right there at the San Diego Sports Arena. Check them out. I mean, why would you fill up anywhere else?
It's directly between the two launch ramps in San Diego. You're going to Dana or Shelter Island, man. It's right in the middle of the two of them.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, we're going to be right back. You're listening to Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. We're going to have more Cameron for the Mission Belle when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Hi, this is Captain Ray Lopez, owner-operator of the American Angler. I've spent more than half my life aboard the American Angler along with my partners Brian and Lori, developing a team that's as good as it gets. I've been fortunate to spend time on the ocean with so many fine people that I look forward to fishing with. We can't thank you enough for being part of the American Angler family, and if you haven't joined us, we love the opportunity to meet you. Text or call Lori at 619-223-5414 or check AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com.
Looking for the ultimate Alaska fishing experience and the best value in Alaska? Look no further than Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. A trip to Kingfisher includes everything you need to make your experience legendary. The finest fishing fleet in Sitka with the best captains, deluxe accommodations, gourmet food, world-class fish processing, and the best part, it's all included for one amazing price. Kingfisher is Let's Talk Hookup's most popular destination. Hundreds of listeners have experienced Kingfisher charters, and most go back again and again. You have probably heard a lot of big promises from other Alaska lodges, only to find there were lots of hidden charges. Not Kingfisher. Everything is included. 10-hour fishing days, your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, and fishing gear. All you bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. Kingfisher Charters, your Alaska fishing destination. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
When you're offshore fishing, the right gear makes all the difference, and that includes Fujinon stabilized binoculars from Baker Marine. Baker Marine has been selling binoculars for decades, and more importantly, they service all brands right at their San Diego Shelter Island location. Need the best? The Fujinon Staboscope is the professional's choice. Looking for top-tier stabilization at a great price? The Fujinon TechnoStabi TSX 1440 delivers rock-steady vision even in rough waters. Perfect for serious anglers. Baker Marine is the largest Fujinon retailer on the West Coast, and when you buy from them, they will be there when your binoculars need service. Plus, they'll give you a great price on all their in-stock Fujinon binoculars. Stop by their store on Shelter Island in San Diego and test a pair of Fujinon binoculars and see which one is right for you. The fishing season is here, and you know you need a pair of stabilized binoculars. So get them from the experts at Baker Marine. Learn more at bakermarine.com.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is on at your San Diego County Ford dealers. It's a great time to take a test drive to see what Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs has to offer. You'll discover California's best-selling truck brand, Ford F-Series, equipped for anything your demanding job needs or the family vacation you're taking. Check out the Bronco family featuring the iconic Ford Bronco or the versatile Ford Bronco Sport. Both have muscle, tech, and durability needed to go anywhere. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, visit your local dealership to find the perfect Ford for you during the Ford Summer Sales Event. The Ford Summer Sales Event is on at your San Diego County Ford dealers. It's a great time to take a test drive to see what Ford's award-winning lineup of trucks and SUVs has to offer. Visit your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And man, just having so much fun and giving away a full-day trip on the Mission Belle. And if you want to join us, 833-288-0973 or a simple text.
Yeah, man, we're having a great time. Lots of great texts coming through. Phone lines are packed up. We're going to jump right back into those phones, Corey.
Let's do that. How about Patrick? Patrick Combe from Long Beach. Good morning, Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
Good morning. How are you guys this morning?
Dude, I'm pumped, man. Talking yellowtail fishing, bluefin on the Mission Belle. I'm ready to go. Are you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a couple trips planned this year.
All right.
That's good time.
My question is, when I go on a one-day trip, day-and-a-half trip, or a two-day trip, what's customary for gratuity for the crew at the end of the trip?
Well, it's such a loaded question, Patrick. And I mean, Cameron's probably one of the better guys to.
We relate it to like a restaurant kind of,
I think that's the easiest thing that you can compare it to and a pretty appropriate.
Yeah. And
number.
Obviously if service doesn't meet the standards, it's, you're on the lower end of the 15 to 20% of the ticket price. And if you feel like the guys did a super good job and they greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And just like a restaurant, Patrick, you develop a relationship with the people on the boat if you're going a handful of times and they become friends and family. And, that takes off on its own level right there.
It's not an easy thing for people to talk about because it's gratuity and it's up to you, but it's certainly something that's very much appreciated by the crew. I mean, expected maybe isn't the right level, but it's a very common thing. And if you don't know, you don't know. And it shouldn't be a weird thing to talk about, but it always takes on that weird level when you are. But I think you couldn't have said it best. Treat it like a restaurant. Somewhere in that 15 to 20% seems to be about right. And man, if you had a great time with the guys and you have the means and ability to do throw and you threw the boys $100, you know how stoked that makes a 20-year-old kid that's busting his butt all day. Like it's just, yeah. I mean, you got to do what feels right to you, but I think that restaurant number is a really good way to think about it. Hey, appreciate the phone call very much. We had another good text come through as well. It says, hello, guys. I love this show. So much fun with Cameron this morning. Cameron, what is your go-to surface iron? The reason I ask is there seems to be so many new things, new CNC machine jigs by lots of manufacturers, the old classics as well. My curious is, what do you tie on the end of your rod? Are you an old school lure guy, or do you go for the brand new machines?
Oof, that's the loaded one.
Whatever one swims the best, right?
To my heart, I'm a 7X guy.
Okay.
Well, because a lot of times, if I cast, it's a rundown and I get one shot and then I got to go help or whatever. Matt Salas, I am a 7X person. I will say, back in the full day game in Coronado Islands, what's two fish?
Mm-hmm. Two fish jigs.
That signature little spray paint they have on the tip of their lures. That is the common one. And I was joking. They were on the boat. Dan was on the boat the other day, his partner, and I was laughing because I go, that's the most expensive 240 you've ever seen. And he kind of looked at me and I go, well, it came with the boat, so I'm assuming, purchase price here. But it's a great lure.
Yeah, it really is.
You buy it off the shelf and it swims, and the marketing's good, and it's a good lure. It is. But if I'm going to choose one, I am a 7X house man.
Yeah. When of a lifetime of fishing, that's you.
It's me.
That's cool. That's a great one. And, we fish that so much on the skiff too, because it's often a different thing where you are kind of run and gun. And so, to be able to have a little bit heavier lure that, pushes through the momentum of the boat rolling forward is a big deal, and they stay in the water really good. And yeah, it's a great one. We had a fun discussion with a father and son in the tackle store yesterday, and they were buying some two fish jigs, and I loved it. The dad, you could tell it was an old school. The kid was like, spending his pulling weed money, allowance to buy lures with his dad, and they were buying those CNC machine two fish jigs, and those CNC lures, they're more expensive. You're paying for a guy with a machine to cut a block of aluminum. It's just a more expensive process than it is to make a sand cast jig, and they carry a little heftier price tag. But that was the discussion that they were having. He's like, everyone works. Every single one works killer. And, to find whatever, brand X or Y on the wall that's made in the old school way, to find one that swam as good as those is going to be very difficult, if not possible. And every one of those lures that they bought was going to swim exactly the same way. So he's like, you could buy 3 of them in hopes that one of them swam as good as this one, or that one's going to work just fine. And it might be a little more money up front, but it goes a lot longer in the other way. And then God forbid you lose it, and when you lose your favorite old school 7X,
nothing worse.
It's not as easy to replace, and you have a 270, you can go right back into the Point Loma sport fishing and buy another one right off the wall, and it fishes just as good again.
It's funny. You don't see 15 years ago, there would be all the tackle shop guys down at the dock with handfuls of lures
all the time,
trying to figure out what was the one.
Yeah.
And now you can go in and buy a lure off the shelf, and it's going to be the one.
A high percentage that it's going to be the right one.
Yeah, totally.
I can't tell you the number. And now trust me, I'm going to say this on my high horse. Like I'm not just as guilty, probably more guilty, but I can't tell you the number of times I look around and it's a little bit so like, where in the hell is everybody? Like what? There's no one in the shop. And I look down on the dock, and there's 6 of them, all 2 long rods. Everybody's got a bucket. Everybody's like standing on top of the railing, looking at one swim. They're all pointing at that one. One guy's coming back, fist pumping because he's got the one.
Found it.
Ass back here. It's like my favorite part of the shop. I love it. I say that I bitch about it. I love it.
My youth was Danny Wade doing that down on the dock.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still in the same position,
totally,
right?
Yeah, you still see it right now.
But I'm 16, 17 years old, and Danny Wade's down on the dock doing that. That was my youth.
Stinger tucked away on that little
porch,
over by the
behind
galley.
the land. Yeah, totally.
Winding lures. It was
I love it.
Dude, it's just something special, man.
It is.
There's nothing better than coming tight. Calico bass, a yellowtail on a surface iron, man.
Handle stoppage, man.
Bring it on.
The other day, Steve was running the boat, and I was working deck, and I heard this scream. I just envisioned, someone having a 7X through their skull or something.
Yeah.
And I look, and it's Steve B
coming tight.
Coming tight.
Oh no!
And how many yellowtails that guy hooked on a surface.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But that's it.
But it's got to be special for him to come out as a, quote unquote passenger, enjoy the trip, and he's got Cameron running the boat.
Yeah, and he's running the boat today.
And I've got
love that.
I've got
what a fun team.
A text that kind of leads to the whole thing. It comes from Clay and Hammett. I'm working on getting a trip together with 10 plus of my buddies next month. Will you still be running to the islands next month or offshore? And I bring this up not only for his answer of offshore or the islands for next month, but if he's got a group of 10 plus that want to charter the boat and somebody else is listening that wants to charter the boat, how do they do so?
Call the landing. Now it's if you're looking for, we only have a few days in August that could potentially be a charter.
But listen, you've got September, October.
Yeah. No, there's September
and next year.
Yeah. And you can call the landing, you can email me. I got to find the Mission Belle number here.
Right. But even a email shot to you personally, right? I mean, they can communicate with you via email.
And I'm so terrible with this.
I know. I sprung this on you kind of.
619-693-2676. That is the Mission Belle phone, and that is me. And if we're fishing,
say it again.
619-693-2676.
Okay.
You can text it, you can call it. For fishing, I might be a little late to get back to it. But that's a direct line to me, and we can book a charter. We can talk about it, pricing, all that stuff.
You've now got to see a handful of them go. What in your mind is like the perfect charter group size on the boat? I know that there can be plenty, and I know that there can be two, but getting to see it, what's your favorite?
20.
Yeah.
There's a seat for everyone in the galley. When we're driving down to the islands, everyone's in the galley eating breakfast. It's like, where is everyone?
I love that.
The stern's huge on the boat, so anchoring up.
It's a really wide boat.
It is. Yeah. And so it's 20, 22 people is sweet. We've had 10. I think 10's boring.
Not enough hooping and hollering going on.
Yeah, not enough tangles.
Yeah.
But it's whatever you want.
Totally.
The boat's CLI'd for 49 people. 30's the max, and 30's we had 30. Oh, not yesterday. Yesterday was 28, but whatever. And it was it's good.
There's another level of customer service thing that you guys provide too. I mean, that boat is perfectly fine to have 50 people on board, and it did for years and years and years and years. And honestly, like when it really comes down to it, that's just taking dollars out of your pocket. But again, you're always just the most concerned with the passenger experience, and you just get to have more space with 30 people, and you get to give more attention to 30 people than you do when it's 50, and it would be very easy to sneak extra people on there, but it's just for that level of customer service that you guys are trying to provide.
Yeah. I mean, if my wife had control and, as she does the accounting, it'd be 49 people. I just want everyone to have a good time, regardless of the fishing.
Yeah.
I just want everyone's trip to be enjoyable. Whether you catch a limit, you catch none, you just had a nice day.
Totally.
And that's the end goal for sure.
And for Clay's, Clay from him and his text, next month offshore at the islands. I mean, if he's chartering the boat, you could almost communicate it like, dude, it is really good at 35 miles right now. We can go that route, or there's a good shot of yellows at the islands. Like,
yeah, the last two charters we've done, I'm like, just bring your passports, have them in hand in the morning.
Right.
And we'll make the
take
best decision at 5:25.
Love it. That
Right?
sounds good to me, man.
Such a cool thing.
Totally. Well, the phones are packed up again. Still time to get you through if you want to get in. It's 833-288-0973. Let's jump back into those phones, Cory.
How about Jim, the one and only Jim from National City? Good morning, Jim.
What's up, Jim?
Well, thank you, Cory. I appreciate that. Hey, morning, Rick, and Cameron and I go way back.
Morning, Jim.
I was back on the American Angler. That's when I first met Cameron, and even back then he was pretty slick, I'll tell you. But of course, he got that good training under Brian, and of course his father-in-law, Mike Lackey. He's right in that fishing vein, and that is so important with all of our 1 day to 5 day to 16-day boats. You get those skipper owners that are in that fishing vein. It is so important, and we are very fortunate. I've mentioned it many times, how fortunate we are here in San Diego to have those good skipper owners. So
no doubt, buddy.
Cameron,
Well said.
I've enjoyed all the years. I got 2 trips coming up. One on the Point Loma was a charter. I was invited. I don't know if you're affiliated with that boat. And the other trip I have is on the Mission Belle. That's the San Diego Rod and Reel Club. Me and my son Anthony will be on that trip. But I was on the Belle about a month ago. We had a rough trip, 3 tuna for 20-some people. It was so funny, Rick. The trip before, they got almost 30 bluefin. The trip after, they got 20-plus bluefin. And our trip, we got caught when they weren't eating. And we went way down south. We went 40, 50 miles south for, we caught 3 bluefin that day. And but, that's tuna fishing. I think throughout the years, I've been on a few of those boat rides, but I can't say enough good things, Cameron. And I heard you talk about CCA today, and man, it is so important, the battles we got going on there. And, I can understand a fisherman not knowing, goes fishing once every 2 months or something, and doesn't know about CCA. But for somebody to know what CCA and Friends of Rollo and the other organizations have done for saving fishing for us.
Yep, no doubt about it, Jim.
You're right, Jim, and appreciate the call for sure, Jim. I mean, words well said, man.
Yep, no doubt about that. Hey, I had a fun text come through. It says, good morning, guys. Just a follow-up question to the call about fish cleaning. Cory, you're always talking about the harvest, and Cameron, I'd really like your take as well. How long would you consider fish sushi grade? I loved hearing how well Cameron and the boys take care of their fish. How long would it be appropriate to put that thing in a roll? That's from John and Fullerton.
If I prolong it at the house, I keep it in ice. And
that's a lot of people don't do. Like, you can keep a little tray, a little bit of ice, and keep your Ziploc bag submerged so that the water can't intrude.
And then, the day before something, I do take it out and let, the refrigeration in the refrigerator kind of dry it a little bit. 3-4 days.
Yeah.
But, a lot of sushi is frozen.
Right.
And that's a big, people are like,
you just get the blessing of not seeing it coming out of the freezer block,
Yeah, I just had this conversation with a friend going, and fishermen's processing their flash frozen fish. Their fish is frozen so quickly that you can do that, Cameron.
Yeah.
Okay. You try to do that at home with 50 or 150 pounds of fish.
Yeah, different game.
It's a completely different game. It takes so long to freeze that it's not that good. I mean, we're spoiled, right?
Totally.
It's awesome, but let fishermen's processing freeze 3/4 of your catch.
Yeah.
And you're so right that there's a big difference about the time that it takes to get itself cold.
Yes.
Like in the freezer, next to the box of Uncrustables and everything else, like it's a slow process to get to whatever it is. And, these processors have these giant, freezers with fans running and the fillets are not stacked on top of each other. Everything's in a bread wrap. Like, it gets cold just like that. And that's a huge difference in the longevity and then the product when it's then defrosted. And like Cameron's saying, how you defrost it is a big deal too.
Yeah.
Dad, in a hurry, forgot to do something, throw it in a bucket of water with the sink running through it. Sure, it's going to get soft enough to cook, but it's not going to be the same level that it is if you take your time, wrap that thing in a bunch of paper towels and let it defrost in the fridge over a couple of days. Let the towels suck all that moisture and funkiness out of it. Wrap it 2 or 3 times during the process. Like that fillet sitting next to the other one that you just cut out of the bag and it, defrosted in its own juices. They're two worldly different
totally
animals.
different. But the art of sushi starts with Cameron on the boat. Taking care of the fish and getting that fillet and that chunk of fish home is the next step, right? But it has to start with the boats we have in our fleet.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the level of care that those things are. And again, talk about how important cold is, like the Barracudas and Bonitas and Skipjacks of the world always just got that note, like, just this thing isn't worth eating. And
Dude,
now
a Barracuda and a Bonito, they're highly regarded. I mean, the way they're treated today is so much different than the gunny sack hanging in the sun. And
there's some big ones around.
That's what I hear.
Barracuda,
cool.
Bonito.
Yeah, Barracuda.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a school yellowtail, and all of a sudden it was Barracuda logging out, and jumping around.
I love that.
Yeah.
And again, you have that fish that's caught on the Mission Belle. It's bled. It's thrown into RSW. It's cut up that night. It's just not the same thing.
Please, on Cameron's respect, try it. Because
Yeah, there
they're
you go.
very, very good. We're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to find out who's won this full-day trip on the Mission Belle when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app and 97.3 The Fan.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about my fishing buddy Dan Hume and his amazing company, Hume Termite. As you know, Southern California is infested with termites. It's a constant battle for anyone who owns a home, and that's where Hume Termite come in. They're strictly termite experts. They start with a thorough inspection to find out why you have termites in the first place, then recommend sustainable treatment options that work. Hume Termite has been controlling my termites for years, and I have recommended them to numerous friends. Did you know 99% of termite companies are commission-based? Not Hume Termite. They're all salaried employees, and with a thorough inspection, they'll help you solve your termite problems, not sell you something you don't need. Let Dan and his crew earn your business through customer service and trust. It's swarming season, and now is the time to call Hume Termite at 760-598-2201. They'll come out and give you honest answers to solve your termite issues. Check HumeTermite.com.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service sport fishing operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the spacious and comfortable 85-foot Liberty. With bunks for your comfort, a huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Fisherman's Landing also boasts the best captains and crews in the business, from seasoned veterans to our young future legends. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Don't let the summer pass you by with powerful deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Cruise into Summer sales event. From now until September 3rd, 2025, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of warranty protection. Looking for a lower horsepower? Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $300 in dealer credit. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends September 3rd, 2025. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added to 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty for select motors. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Warmer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWarmerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Warmer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to have Cameron flip the prize coin.
Yeah, see who's going
That's our
fishing on the
caller.
Belle.
What is it? Caller
Caller
today.
today.
And caller's Ed in University City. Congratulations.
Ed, congratulations,
Going
man.
fishing.
Yeah, no doubt. How fun is that? And a great time. Man, Cameron, what a great job. This was so fun. So glad to have you in here with things just rolling on all cylinders and seeing the great fishing that you're providing for everybody. It's been really, really cool, man. You're doing a great job.
Guys.
Yeah.
We love it. Your guys' outreach is crazy.
Well,
it really is. All the people that listen and stuff, and it's great.
It's a fun
great for
family.
the industry. It is.
Well, we sure enjoyed it. We enjoy having you. If somebody wants to get in on all that fun that we've been talking about, do a charter on the boat, jump on one of the regular trips, all the great stuff, whether it be inshore or offshore, what's the best way to jump on the Belle?
Point Loma Sport Fishing. You can book online. Website. You can call the landing. Charters and stuff like that, or questions, call me direct, 619-693-2676. And we'll be there.
A great job, buddy. Really appreciate it, and fun hanging with you. And boy, it's fun hanging with you. Another couple of great shows coming for me next weekend. Next Saturday, Captain Ken Frankie from SAC, as well as Mike Lum from Friends of Rollo. And then next Sunday, going to be a fun one with Pete and Cory up at Haida Gwaii. It's just going to be myself and Brandon Bono talking tackle. Going to be a fun couple of shows. We'll look forward to talking to you then. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
And KWFN HD1 San Diego.
What's up, guys? It's Brayden
Thanks,
Sofret.
Jeff.
No one is
Have a good weekend, Ricky.
Great job, buddy. Really
from
appreciate it,
Padres to
man.
high school football. I've got it covered. Weekdays from 10.
Kind of garbled my words, but that's fine. He got it. He understood what I said to him.